With us all morning long, and Jalen Rose gets up with us here after they crowned the champion last night, and a great job by you and everybody on ABC. And so, Jalen, I want to start with this because you and I have talked about sort of the context of this stuff for as long as I have known you. What does it mean for the NBA for a player like Giannis to get? Go ahead, Jalen. I never get to ask a question.
Good morning, gentlemen. And so I was at the game last night, just like Big Perk was. Congratulations to the entire team. ESPN and ABC for covering it. I barely got like an hour's sleep. I just flew to Detroit, and I wanted to make sure I was on this segment, and both of you guys look handsome today. Let me talk to Kendrick Perkins for a second, okay? Good morning, Big Perk. Now, you did a great job of covering this, okay? Now, you did a great job covering this year's NBA Finals, but you know what happens, Greeny? Young folks like this that's been doing this job like 5 years, they get one or two things right. They get one or two catchphrases. Then they come over here with their Dr. Seuss lines, wearing their 80s pastor suits, and think all of their takes are going to be hot. So let me tell you a couple of things that I heard Perk say about this series. Didn't he just slander Coach Bud the entire year about not making adjustments? Hey, Perk, the number one adjustment this year was giving the ball to Middleton the last couple of minutes of a game. Drew Holiday isn't the best two-way player in the NBA. Last night, you saw the best two-way player in the NBA. That's actually Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Chris Middleton is not Batman. That happens to be the Greek Freak. And don't try to flip it and say, oh, now he's Superman. You can just say that take was off. By the way, what happened to your guy DeAndre Ayton? Let me finish. What happened to your guy DeAndre Ayton? Is he still David Robinson? I didn't see him. Is he still David Robinson? Are the Suns still a dynasty? I don't see that with a 36-year-old point guard. So again, it's great to come over here and talk really loud and have all of the catchphrases, but you were so very dead wrong about the Bucks as a guy that said that Giannis should leave Milwaukee. You said Giannis should leave Milwaukee. He stayed. He stayed, and he delivered.
Go ahead, Perk.
First of all, now let me address you like my catchphrase, like the numbers on the house. You talking about a pastor suit. Let me address you real quick, Mr. Spray Paint Line that's afraid to let it go because I'm diving up into the 80s.
Oh, no, this not it. I'm all natural, homie. I'm all natural, homie. And by the way, I'm only 10 years older than you. You call me a senior citizen. I'm only 10 years older than you. And you look 50 years older than me.
Hold on. I let you talk. Let me finish, Mr. Jalen Rose. Okay, for the simple fact that I understand that it took you a while to get on the show because you probably needed a walker. All right, and let me address you with some facts too. You picked the Phoenix Suns to win this series as well.
I thought Batman was going to be hurt. I thought Batman was going to be hurt, and then he swooped in game one to save the day. No, we've heard you talk 50 times. We're going to hear you 500 times. We already heard what you have to say. We already heard what you have to say. It was wrong.
Jalen Rose. This is the problem, man. At the end of the day, I don't know what you got up with Big Perk, but it's all good over here, dog. I'm not doing no tripping. Like Greeny said, I picked the Bucks to come to the Eastern Conference. I picked them before James Harden and Kyrie Irving was hurt. I picked them before the playoffs was even started. I picked the Milwaukee Bucks to make it to the finals. And when I make a phrase and say things like that DeAndre Ayton is the second coming of a David Robinson, this is based off of potential, Jalen Rose. This is when you talk about a guy that's the number.
David Robinson was a scorer. Man. David Robinson scored 50 points in college and 70 points in the NBA. DeAndre Ayton will never lead the league in scoring.
DeAndre Ayton is 21 years old, man.
We just heard Perk 25 minutes today. We're going to watch him on First Take. We're going to watch him on SportsCenter. We're going to watch him this afternoon.
Oh, my God.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, keep watching. I mean, what you want me to do? Keep watching. I can't help it that I got a certain type of charisma. I can't help it that I got a certain type of authenticity that the viewers want to see. I can't help it that I'm sitting up here looking like a 6'10", 360-pound version of Morris Chestnut. I can't help it that I did things my way. I can't help it that I came into this media game as basically an intern and worked my way up.
Let's talk about the Bucks.
No, because first of all, it went past that because you came in here telling me about my inexperience. You came in here addressing my character on how I approach the game. So
I didn't
then I
address your
got
character.
to defend. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You started it off by that. Yes, you did. Because you said as a first-time guy that's been on TV.
I didn't say first time.
No, you said your first
you've been
time
doing
at
it a
the
few
finals
years.
that you do.
In
You
other
know
news,
what? Hey, look, you got it, bro. It's your world. I'm just trying to get an apartment in it.
in other news, the Bucks won the championship last night. And so, Jalen, let me ask you a quick question if I can, and then I'm going to have to go. And that is, what does this mean for the sport? That Giannis, who could have been a free agent this year and tried to join a super team, instead signed the Super Max last summer, that he's homegrown and stayed in Milwaukee and did it. What does it mean for the league and the sport?
I love you, Perk. It ain't personal. Giannis showed last night that all rings aren't created equal. And in an era of player empowerment via social media and their voices, they do an amazing job of getting their messages out there. But the one thing they can't control is how we view it. And Giannis said it when he got to the podium. He wanted to stay, he wanted to build, and he wanted to do it in Milwaukee, the team that drafted him. And that was his motivation. So now, like Dirk Nowitzki, for example, that championship is going to live eternally, just like the one that Kawhi Leonard got with the Raptors. There's certain things that when players do them the way Giannis did them, fans and media appreciate how he went about the journey as a 26-year-old player that's a two-time MVP, that's a Defensive Player of the Year, that's a Finals MVP, that's the most athletic 7-foot player that we've seen in a really long time. And I know he and KD are both listed at 6'11". KD has more of a perimeter guard type skills. Giannis is more of a dominant big type skills, doing it in the paint, giving me 50. And how about the blocks? Y'all should cut a rip of his blocks, because his blocks were incredible yesterday. The way he changed shots was incredible. The energy and effort he played with was incredible. And Morris Chestnut, you're right. You do an amazing job.
It's just such a delight. Can I just say that we have been doing this, the three of us now, all through these playoffs. That was the first time I actually asked a question. So I feel pretty good about it. It was the first time that I got it in super quick, because Nick Saban is sitting down. He's going to join us live in a second. Jalen, do they win it again next year? Or Vegas says the Nets are the favorite next year, followed by the Lakers, followed by the Bucks. Will we see this team back there next year?
I don't believe they win the East next year. I think that's going to be reserved for the Nets. However, since Giannis and Middleton and Drew Holiday have a level of autonomy now winning championships, don't be surprised if other quality players, as they get bought out or they want to get moved, all of a sudden now want to go to Milwaukee and play with Giannis.
That would be an extraordinary thing, I think, for the sport, if all of a sudden Milwaukee became a destination. Guys, you are the best.
Giannis Antetokounmpo to seal this for the Bucks. Mike, let's start with you. Put this into perspective for us.
The perspective is maybe the greatest finals performance ever. I mean, Stephen A. and I immediately turned to each other. I'm a lot older than he is, but we still could turn to each other and say, okay, give me one. Top this. And I think we both we nodded about Magic, 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists as a rookie on the night where Kareem was injured. So we both nodded on that.
Jordan's 45.
We figured Jordan's 45 in Utah closeout. That's all. That's as far as we went. And I don't know that Giannis's 50-pointer tonight wasn't the equivalent of anything I've seen in my life except Magic. So when you talk about, when you can go back over the entire history of the league, 75, whatever years it is now, and you can single out a performance, and it was unequivocally it's one of the top 5 of all time. So the perspective, Stan, the context is greatest ever. Is it in that discussion? Yes, it's in that discussion. He took out a team that came back from a 13 or 14-point deficit, 16-point deficit, whatever it was, and the Suns looked like, they had for a while to control the game, but they didn't because of Giannis.
The Bucks were up 13.
13. Okay.
Next thing you know, they were down 7. Phoenix came roaring back. And then Giannis comes into the game, and Giannis says, well, damn it, give me the ball. We going home. This is it. And that's what he did. He was completely dominant. It's not about the points. It's not about the numbers. It's what he did to get them. He was completely fearless and just oblivious to the ridicule and potential humiliation. It didn't matter to him. That level of determination in the face of whatever adversity